I heard it beep.
So let's not hide what's actually going on here, and that is that I took extra long to set up this morning. And
Extra long.
like it's how long like a juicy fruit stick of gum would last is how long.
If it lasted even a little bit longer than it normally does. that would be extra long.
That's right. Extra.
That's right. I mean,
Maybe.
the wit is just layers upon.
I know you're a one of a kind, dude. I'll have to say, which I guess we all are, unless you're even
A
if you're
twin?
No, but you're still.
You're kind of a two of a kind. Ooh, nice.
Are you not?
I don't know.
Don't we have like right there, baby? That's the good stuff.
What was that an advertisement for? Your heart?
Solar plex.
Yeah.
Quite windy out today.
It's a
You
breeze.
want to tell them what date it is?
I do. It's Sunday, October. I don't know. 6th. October the 6th.
And happy birthday to Jill, my baby sister. She's now 26 ish years
Slight
old.
hesitation in the prediction of his sister's age. How old are you?
30.
Okay.
She's 27. She could be 27. Happy birthday, Jill. Either way.
Happy birthday, Jill.
Thank you.
Hope you're getting up at sunrise.
So, I don't know what she's doing. She's crazy, man. She's got a traveling job. She
Yeah.
barely stays at her house. Like, either way.
Traveling jobs, probably not the healthiest in the long run.
Nope.
Because it's very hard to find a groove on the road if you're only somewhere for a week. All right, what are you looking up? That's me.
Yep. Look at your armpit hair.
Can you see it? Are you scrolling right now?
No, dude.
When I make my list of commandments, that will be, thou shalt not scroll.
Yeah. Definitely not on the.
Not here, not now. What's gotten into you? Can we go back to lampooning you for how long it took you to set up?
Yeah.
Because you brought it up.
Right after I figured out how to go live.
Is that what you're doing?
Yep.
Okay.
Fuck, dude.
That should be good.
How do you do it, dude?
Okay. I like our followers to post ratio.
Yeah.
Which I don't think is a metric too many people follow, but if you have less than 5 posts, you're gonna have.
All right, here we go. Live.
You could have a decent ratio.
We'll notify some of your followers. All 8 of them.
Is there a checkbox for all, or do we have to hand select them? In which case, that shouldn't take too long. What do you got there? A clip?
Just something I could
Whoa.
put on something that I can put on something.
Yeah.
You know?
Dude, you gotta come over and record me playing music.
Well, that's what the full frame Sony camera's for.
That's what that little audio box is for.
Yeah.
Because I don't even have a mic, and you've got a mic.
I do have a mic.
Dude.
And I have a regular mic too, like the ones that you like sing into and shit.
Yeah. What's this one? Not for singing?
No, it's not.
Is it good for chanting?
It's good for it's
More choir boy.
This comes straight out of here, and it doesn't pick up much from the sides, but it will pick up.
Sounds like good for
It
singing.
will pick up ambient noise.
Yeah.
So if you want a singing mic, you want only shit that you have to put your face up right to it in order to fucking. Sorry for cussing.
Right. Sorry, Mom.
Well, hopefully, I was thinking about trying to go live on Facebook for you, but
Whatever.
who cares?
Next time.
All right. So
Well,
we got here at 6:30 at 6:56 now.
woo!
So 26 minutes of setting up.
The time, it is a ticking. Got our timer set. Doesn't matter. We don't have too much importance to discuss.
Yep.
We're excited to be out here in the sun.
That's right.
All up in the thyroid. I did some good breathing last night.
With your glasses on.
Yeah, I took half a gram of mushrooms.
Half a gram.
Yeah.
It's not that much.
It's not that much, but it's enough to get something.
That's true.
There was no visual effect. Mostly body sensation. I took them at 6:30. I always start a timer anytime I consume something to kind of like gauge the up, the in, and the down. And I ate them and came right to the beach with my blanket, long sleeves, and a pillow, and music, and just sat and watched the moon and the stars and listened, and then would do some like heavy breathing, the hyperventilating breathing.
Oh yeah,
dude. I would aim for 50. You know what's so fucked up is when you do it, you're like, wow, this is making me tired. This is making me out of breath. That doesn't make any sense because I'm breathing. But it's like the breathing itself is not difficult, but
it mimics as if you were exercising,
it's exhausting,
climbing a mountain or something.
And I would do it, and then I would stop and hold. And it was like this intense weight going down on me, and everything's like falling asleep and tingling, and like these muscles locking up, and just like, And then as I'm coming out of that, I would just start laughing, because something about the music, because all of a sudden you realize your brain wasn't with you for a certain amount of time. Like you're blacking out, but you're not blacking out.
That's the shit,
and you
dude.
come back into it, and the music's just like, you're like, oh, it's this song. And I'm just picturing the intensity and the energy of the music being created. And I just start laughing out loud. But I'm still like glued to the ground, like, I can't move. Just from our breath. The most intense part of the whole trip.
Wasn't any of the mushrooms, you don't think, though?
That was a part of it.
Yeah.
But I went into the breathing session, I was extremely lucid the whole time. So this was pretty much a body sensation with triggers into thought, just because staring at the same star. And then occasionally I would start to see some perspective within the solar system or whatever, where you could see, oh, that star's closer, right? I mean, they're all... Fuck, the sun is 93 million miles away. I think that's a fact. So these things are ridiculously further, but to be able to see that little perspective. Then you look at the moon. Dude, my biggest complaint the whole night, the moon was too bright. It was too bright. Like,
was it full or something?
No, it wasn't even half.
Really?
It was absurdly bright.
Maybe that was the mushrooms too, man.
Well,
your eyes are sensitive or something.
Absolutely. But in terms of what you could see else in the sky, I was like, Mr. Moon, could you just tone it down? I'm trying to appreciate these other lunar or non-lunar.
Well, that sounds like a pretty...
Stayed out there for a little over 3 hours. I would get up and I'd walk a little bit.
Yeah.
And then some people like crab hunting with super bright flashlights.
Right.
I was like,
fuckers.
yeah, there's
Messing up the
just
sea
some little
turtles.
kids and
Okay.
and their parents. Some
Oh, that
people almost
kid over there.
walked over me because they didn't see me. 'Cause I'm just some dude right next to the dunes on the
They
the
probably
line.
think it's a fucking washed up merman. They're like, look at this guy. He's all like holding his breath like...
When I would see them, I would take out my earbuds and kind of wait for them to approach,
Right.
just in case they
Like,
were.
oh, hey, I'm a normal guy. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
fucking murder you.
No, I'm just enjoying myself so much. The temperature was perfect. It was solid. I wanted to do it again, but
That's good.
take more.
Me too, man.
Get more into
somebody
it.
ain't got them. I'm trying to fucking plant them out in my backyard.
Somebody got their ration. I don't know. I give and I give. I allocated to like 6 to 8 people out of the same amount, and everyone got some. We're working on it.
I know.
But they are
We
amazing.
can still get a Chipley though, right?
Yeah.
I hit you up last year about that.
Look for our own.
Remember that?
I remember
I said,
everything.
This is the time. You don't remember everything. You can't remember everything.
No, but I recall that someone, perhaps yourself, was interested and intrigued.
So we're gonna take a brief moment here, and this is brought to you by Almavita Coffee. Only the best local roasted coffee, Santa Rosa Beach, Florida.
I drink at Black Bear Cafe.
That's cool. You get Stumptown. That's good coffee too.
Yeah, well, and Black Bear carries my products.
Oh.
Yeah.
I guess Almavita doesn't sell anything with meat in it.
I'm trying to get him to take the bone broth.
Shit, yeah. All right, so
Can I have a taste of your coffee?
yeah, sure.
You know, I haven't had coffee since...
Last time I gave you coffee, probably. Sorry to hang out with a coffee drinker. And is it good?
Thank you. So,
That'll get the fix.
I just wanted to see how bitter it was. The tea's pretty bitter, too. Dude, I have been housing black tea.
It's good.
Well, probably more than the recommended amount, but I enjoy the effects. I had, I don't want to say a breakthrough, but, and I even made a note to do my own recording about it in case these things take longer to get posted.
Yep.
But, you know those times when you've learned something, and then, but you don't like, you know it because you were told it, and then you discover it in the literature somewhere else. You're like, ah, there it is. Okay, I had one of those with something Dr. Cruz has talked about. Because I'm reading Cosmo, Sapiens. I've talked about this book on my videos all the time.
I watched your video the other day.
Oh, good.
I watched it. Trying to.
Was that the most recent one where I talked about Beach Brawl,
Sam Harris,
Ogmandino, and
yep.
yeah,
And
gotta have love in your heart.
The lady with the CrossFit girl.
Yeah, I see. Sometimes I'll record and then not go back and watch. I'll come back to that.
I think you should record on your GoPro.
I should. I definitely should. We'll come back to that as well.
You can mount it on your.
Why are you interrupting me?
You can mount it on your windshield.
Knock, knock.
Go.
Oh, what? Okay, that was gonna be a good one. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Interrupting cow.
Interrupting
Moo.
cow.
Yeah, that's what you were like.
All right, sorry, dude. I just was having a good day.
Moo.
Not sorry.
Moo. So, reading
Fucking coffee.
Cosmo Sapiens, which everyone needs to read, because it is a summary about all the science that we've ever put forth or discovered about everything that explains the beginning of time. Okay?
That's deep.
Yeah,
dude.
it's
How
a
do you
lot.
start with that?
You start at
The
it goes
beginning of time?
pre Big Bang, and it looks at everything, and then
Right.
pretty much points out that there isn't consistency and agreement of. We still can't explain it as much as we know any of it, right? And it gets heavy into analyzing Darwinism as well, because what most people understand is evolution. They're taking a much broader understanding of evolution instead of what Darwin's specific rules were for natural selection. And I get into that because I'm more into the collaboration part. Anyway, Cruz has always talked about, what's his favorite word? What's Dr. Cruz's favorite word?
Fuck, dude.
Favorite word. What's it all about? Mitochondria.
Oh, okay.
Mitochondria.
Yeah.
All right.
I
And he
haven't thought about mitochondria in a long time. I actually ain't listened to Dr. Cruz shit in a while, so.
Oh, I've been keeping myself refreshed.
Yeah.
And the equivalent in plants is called chloroplast. Okay? Now I need to ask him this
Chloroplast.
because I am quite certain I've heard Cruz say that the mitochondria borrowed, maybe it's just his wording. He said the mitochondria came from chloroplast in some way, which came from a bacteria. Okay? And I'd always heard that. And maybe he said they both came from the same one, but I understood it as he said bacteria did this, and then to chloroplast, and then it kind of borrowed it from that. All right? And maybe he said they came from the same joint. Well, I'm in this section in Cosmo Sapiens, and motherfucker is talking about this, and her name's Lynn Margulis, something like that. And it's about symbiosis and symbiogenesis. Okay? So and there's another one, but symbiosis is referring to like two things coexisting and working together. And then symbiogenesis is where two distinctly different species combine to form something new, right? Like you mating with a fucking nectarine tree and creating something like of that nature, right? And in it, we're talking over eons, millions of years, but this is where it started to spell out. The bacteria So way, the earliest thing in the world are archaea and prokaryotes, which bacteria is in that group as well, and then we come out of the eukaryotic side. All right, and I saw it, and it was this went to mitochondria, and then that went to plants and animals, and then this after that went to chloroplasts. I was like, wait, he's been saying it was the other way around. I need to ask him this, but it was so cool to kind of see it and read it and understand it while you're reading it.
Right.
And all this is going to go over everyone's head because it's like, what the fuck is a eukaryote and why is that important? But I find this stuff fascinating because I really am starting to understand things on levels that go back millions and millions of years to what we evolved from. And it's like, this shit is deep. But I've also been enjoying the back and forth between the theories of evolution and then more narrowly defined with Darwin's natural selection, juxtaposed with collaboration and the collaboration versus competition argument of what allows a species to flourish. And I bought a book. There was just a little section in Cosmo Sapiens. This Russian guy, Kropotkin, this is like back when Russians were like fucking badass, you know, like Dostoevsky days. The guy that wrote Crime and Punishment.
Bad. Okay.
Like famous Russian author, and the Idiot and the brothers Karamazov. Anyway, so this is like early 1900s, late 1800s.
Okay.
That this guy was around, and he put out a thesis, you know, against Darwin in terms of collaboration, and his book's called Mutual Aid. So earlier in the Cosmo Sapiens, he goes through all of the people around Darwin, and Kropotkin had a little paragraph, and it was about collaboration. I was like, I really like this. I'm really drawn to this explanation of survival. So I bought his book, and I've just barely gotten it started. But now I'm 100 pages later in Cosmo Sapiens, and he showed back up in this section. I was like, I need to go read it. But when you turn over the back of Kropotkin's book, the paragraph at the top, it's like, oh, I didn't realize. Like, I thought maybe he was just into this like science for science sake, you know, like a biologist or whatever.
Right.
But it's like, this book is for anyone into the leftist movement, communism, socialism, or anarchism. I was like, ooh, this book's gonna be good. Which, you know, at the core, I think a lot of it is social interactions with those philosophies, in their like pure sense.
Yeah.
Not the communism that actually manifested in Russia. Fuck that. Anyway, I digress. But I had a couple of aha moments. I was like, this is...
It's cool when something you've been paying attention to just starts showing back up.
Yeah, and it solidifies in your brain, because they say you don't really know something, you don't really understand something until you can teach it to someone else.
Right.
And some of this stuff, it's just like I don't want to say not population density, reoccurrence density. You just have to read it or hear it or see it so many times, because otherwise it's not intuitive. So that's my week. So we can now go back to what you were talking about earlier.
I don't even know what I was talking about. That's a lot of stuff that you just covered there.
Yeah.
A lot of good stuff.
Oh, those are the types of things I'll record myself. And you know, most of the time I'm driving, which is why I'm not thinking to grab the GoPro.
Well, that's
but
what I was saying.
I need to
you
set
can
it
mount
up.
it on your windshield, or like, you know how it's got the sticky tape on the back. Like, it came with some shit with sticky tape on the back, and you can mount it anywhere you want on your dashboard.
It's a good idea. Yeah.
Whatever.
Right, like right there as I'm driving.
So it looks like you're looking at everybody's soul. Like, dude,
Perfect.
you're looking at me talking about chloroplasts, dude.
They're sexy. So.
Well, that's beyond anything that, not that I've ever thought of, but that I could ever think about talking about. Because you're just like, oh, this is crazy. This is a wild world that we live in, and
ooh, baby,
who knows where the fuck it comes from.
Yeah. And interestingly, you know, I don't know what the statistic is, but some high percentage of all scientists are atheist or agnostic, right?
Yeah.
But
Really.
the more I'm learning about the science, it seems to strengthen my faith in the invisible. And it might be important to distinguish that
You mean God?
I was raised. Well, the word God has such a connotation for people that I almost refrain from using it, because then they've got a God block up.
You mean Trog?
Trog, yeah.
Right.
But I like the word invisible until you get to explain what you want to say,
Gotcha.
because it keeps it open for
Yeah.
people. It's just invisible is a power greater than yourself, which, unless someone thinks they're the greatest power in the whole universe, which would be pretty sad, then everyone, even an atheist and agnostic, believes there's something greater than them out there, right? So
Yeah.
that's when we use the word invisible. But for me, that's Trog. And the more about the science I learn, I'm like, hell yeah, this is just like bolstering my faith in my understanding of what the invisible is. And I keep going back to Laws of the Sun by Okawa with the realms.
Yep.
And there was so much about that just like, this makes sense. It wasn't just nice to hear an explanation that I agreed with, right? Like, it's convenient. You know, like, oh,
That's always the
everything
best.
will be good and fluffy and nice and warm, even though it's
Yeah.
not.
Yep.
Like, I don't think I'm leading myself wrong with the notions that he's putting forth. Plus, he's published quite a bit. I need to go read it. But there's just so much about it that, like, that makes sense. I got into some pretty deep thoughts last night, staring out into the cosmos.
I was hoping you did.
Yeah, about all that kind of stuff, and just accepting our limitations and what we can understand, and always trying to, like, well, okay, Proctor talks about the difference between our 5 senses and our 6 faculties, right? And our whole world is based on our 5 senses, right? Like, you know, you get that gut feeling. It counts for shit in the court of law. It's what you can prove, right? And we're only allowing ourselves the interpretation through the 5 senses of what we can prove in a legal sense and in everything, right?
Correct.
It's not just, well, I felt it, because they're like, well, we don't know what that means. We don't really know if they're guilty because of that. But it turns out our faculties, you know, these extra senses, so to speak, access such a greater part of the world, and yet we have confined ourselves to live within, you know, sight being the biggest one. It's like, nah. So, what I'm getting at there is, if we are so limited, so as to say, fixated on those 5 senses for our world now, we're probably staying pretty limited in our ability to rationalize the possibility of what is happening around us, and that we can't fully explain it within those 5 senses. And in other words, if someone was
Says
born
somebody that
blind,
doesn't meditate.
what's that?
Says somebody that doesn't meditate.
Who said that?
I'm just saying, somebody that doesn't meditate couldn't think about
Oh.
anything other than
I got you.
what happens when you open your eyes,
Yes.
or living. But if you meditate and try to get into the other world, then consciousness away from body,
Yeah.
then you can probably start understanding what you're trying to talk about.
Right. Most people aren't doing it. And it's
Yeah.
like,
It's hard to do, man.
I guess for me,
I'm trying to do it.
what I was trying to draw back to, come full circle, was the deeper I get into science, it bolsters my faith, and I'm trying to explain that possibility by comparing it to our 5 senses and what we take in as inputs, but accepting that there's something greater outside the 5 senses. And so, even if we understand this was science, which is our 5 senses, there's something greater outside of that. But we get to drill down deeper and deeper. I sometimes when I'd have the laughing sessions and just brief, it's like this wild thought that when they talk about we use 10% of our brain or whatever, and whatever's out there in the other realms that's like witnessing this happen, they're watching and they're like, come on guys, the other 90% you can use, just open that door.
Right.
They're just waiting. They're like, we gave them the obvious tools,
right?
The ones to survive, and then we gave them just enough to stay curious and to go explore. And like, there's this whole other adventure to be had, all up here, of what's going on.
I want the adventure, man.
Yes, we all deserve the adventure.
So Paul Chek was talking about like people that are deep into meditation, and they're like, I can get to the same state that somebody is in that did DMT.
Yeah,
or
I've heard about that.
Ayahuasca or something. Like, so they can meditate themselves into that state.
That's serious.
But then Paul Chek talks about, he's like, okay, well, if you can do that, then you already know what it's about. So just do the plant medicine and get to the same place that you would get to. But the people that he talked into doing that did the plant medicine and was like, wow. Like, that is a personalized experience that I cannot get to in meditation, which both are good.
I want to do some more plant medicine.
Me too. Let's go to Costa Rica, dude.
I want to. We can do something here.
All right, we can stay here. I like to travel,
Oh yeah, I got some trips planned.
Nice.
Costa Rica's not on the current docket, but the more we're getting into this stuff, like I want to explore the mind, not just for the entertainment value, but
yeah, it's not take drugs.
it was.
Go to a concert, it's one
I listened
thing.
to Dorian Yates's. He was that really famous bodybuilder back in the 90s. He was on London Real. He was one of, I guess, the more popular ones.
Yeah, he talks about how it was like so hard to get him on because he doesn't do podcasts or something.
I could see that. I didn't hear that
I
part.
listened to the 2-minute trailer.
I think he's been on twice, so this is the more recent one. And I don't think it was his analogy. I think he said he heard it from someone else of what it's like to take psychedelics. And he said, let's say you live somewhere and there's just a big wall around it, okay? And taking the psychedelic is like you get on a trampoline and you start jumping, and as you jump you can see over that wall.
Yeah.
And I was like, that is such a apropos way of describing what it is. You don't get to go hang out there.
Yeah.
But you get to see it.
You don't break the wall down.
Yeah.
Some people might though, and that's when they get diagnosed as schizophrenic or some shit like
yeah,
that.
you can't
just
go
had a
too
good
far with the
experience, bro.
plant medicine.
Yeah.
I imagine like if everyone in the whole world took mushrooms, what the world would be like. It's crazy.
Wait. Took them at the same time? That would be crazy.
Same time
if
or
you could get everybody in the world to take a dose
over-
of mushrooms at the same time.
over a year.
Dude, the world might be like, and like tilt sideways or something, dude.
Those are the fun things to think about.
Oh man, it's funny though. The world.
What did you learn this week?
I learned a lot that I can't tell you about. Sometimes I think I overload.
I picked it up right at that time. You can't tell me because you don't remember, or
Yeah.
you do not desire.
Let me think back. There's nothing that when I learn it, I'm like, oh, I can't wait to talk about this on Chatting with Caveman. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, that's good. I should remember that. And then I sometimes don't, but I just listen to so much Paul Chek, dude. I love this guy.
Is that the guy?
I love Paul Chek, man.
Is he the one you talked about last week?
Yeah, dude.
Older guy
He's
that's
so awesome.
what are
dude.
his 4?
4 doctors?
Yeah.
Okay, but I understand now the 4D is not. It's because living 4D is not living in 3D. It's living in 4D.
Right.
The other dimension. So that makes more sense about why he called his podcast that.
Yeah.
But he had a lot of good guests on. One of them was one of like the first podcasters before Rogan.
Really?
And that guy, I forgot what his name was, but I like him because he gave Paul Chek a run for his money, because he started talking about scientists, right? And he's like, scientists nowadays, they like to have a hypothesis and then prove it correct. He's like, but how you're supposed to do science is prove it wrong. He's like, so a lot of times what
You
you're
shouldn't be
talking
biased
about
going
is
into it.
doing it backwards. I was like, damn, that's so true, because like that's how I would do it if I was a scientist. Because I would want to be right, you know.
Well, good thing you're not a
I'm not a scientist.
scientist.
Yeah. I read a tweet last night though from Dr. Rhonda Patrick, my favorite lady.
Yeah, you do like her.
God, she's so savvy, dude.
That's my mom's first name.
Savvy.
Rhonda. What was the tweet?
Her tweet was...
We're pretty excited.
Yeah, I could tell. Men that drink alcohol out of a social drinking, so binge or...
Outside of social drinking?
Yeah, but like social drinking, like 1 or 2.
Or out of, because of?
Like not just having a beer.
Okay.
Right. Binge drinking or drinking excessively.
Mm-hmm.
Before or within the 6 months of conceiving a baby or whatever. How's that word? Conceiving?
Well, inseminating.
Inseminating.
I don't know. It's probably not the word we prefer to use, but yeah.
Okay, that child has a 55% increase chance of some sort of heart disorder.
Interesting.
She said it better.
How many times does this man have to be excessively drinking? Once a week?
I think just any time.
Once?
Yeah.
Excessive drinking once? 6
6 months.
I would need to hear more about that.
Yeah, she attached a link, so you can just look it up.
What's your takeaway?
I'm probably not going to drink very much before I inseminate a human. I want to be like, I'm going to read as many baby books as I can, dude.
I don't think babies are very good authors.
Yeah, that's true. God, I love you.
I do. I actually had the idea a few years ago. I will write a children's book series at some point.
That's good.
Yeah, I want to start. I'd love to start working with someone that can help me do that. About the little caveman or whatever.
That's the best, because I'm just starting to think about it now, about the people that I grew up with that have babies now.
Yeah.
Like, oh, fuck. Dude, I know them. I'm like, dude, I don't know about what's coming next, dude, because, like, we're raising kids now. You know?
Not you and I.
Nah, not together.
People are right.
Yeah,
Not together, not separate. we don't have any kids.
That you know of.
2 men and a baby.
Yeah. On a beach.
No, I know I don't have any.
We all just be wearing diapers and just like...
Not 2 men as babies.
Nah, like... to make the fucking baby feel comfortable, dude.
The baby is comfortable. It's a baby. We need not.
Whatever, you don't know the baby.
You need not pander to the baby by wearing diapers.
So funny.
So, what else is coming up? Dude, I've been hitting a wall with selling bone broth.
This is what I wanted to do. I wanted to research, because like you can pretty much tell people why they should drink bone broth.
Yeah.
I want to know more about bone broth.
You saw? Did you? Well, okay.
Dude,
Did you see that I made that infographic thing?
I did.
Okay. I think that's what you're talking about. Like I want
to know the science behind why bone broth is good for your body.
Yeah, it's all in that.
Or mind, or whatever.
Do you want me to tell you?
And I want to know how much you should drink
that
per week, month, day, year, whatever.
Cannot answer that. Do you know why? Because
everybody's
there's not a recommended dose of any supplement that's the same for everyone. And you got to think of bone broth in terms of a supplement then. And then the question is, okay, why are you taking said supplement? that tells you how much your dose should be, right?
Yep.
And the other problem is the term bone broth is a descriptor of a food, but they're not all equal. So,
You're saying not all bone broths are equal.
yeah. So, but if you were to say 200 milligrams of ibuprofen is identical to 200 milligrams of Advil, you'd be right. But if you said 8
I
ounce,
don't think so.
yeah, because
They're different supplements.
no, Advil is ibuprofen.
Okay.
That's my point. It's just renamed because I'm telling you how much medicine is in it. But if I
Don't
say
take that shit.
8 ounce cup of my broth versus 8 ounce cup of another brand, there's no guaranteed consistency of what's in it. So people are conflating the term bone broth and talking about it as a food, and then they ask questions about it as if it's a health supplement. And it's very hard to speak to both of those. How much broth should I put in your soup? All right, that's easy. 4 cups because you want to serve 4 people. How much should I drink to heal my leaky gut? How the fuck should I know? They're not all the same. You're gonna need as much as it takes.
Right.
That's
Could you quantify that by taking some sort of a test or something? And then...
only to a certain degree, but the thing about bone broth is it hasn't been studied empirically. There's no big broth industry that is looking at the science of broth. What we know is that the things that appear in bone broth, those have been studied. So you have to extrapolate. And then what you're asking is, based on those things and these other health issues, how do they match up to mitigate or heal those? Therefore, how much should I consume?
Exactly.
And I don't mean to get frustrated with you, but a lot of people ask me at the market,
Hey, man.
and I have a hard time lying to people because they're asking a question kind of about food, but really about medicine, and it's like, boy, your doctor needs to tell you what's wrong with you, so I can tell you how much to take.
Well, the doctor's gonna want to prescribe.
Well, you know what I mean.
Chantix,
Like if
or
someone
whatever the fuck. You have a
Just stop
hair loss
smoking.
disorder. Okay,
That's
whatever.
what Chantix is.
All right. Well.
Do you have alopecia?
No.
Oh,
What?
that's hair loss disorder.
No, I'm sure there's a medicine for that. Besides the
Yeah,
bone broth.
probably.
Anyways.
You have alopecia on your stomach.
Where?
Exactly.
Right here.
Alopecia is not having hair. Anyway.
So do you.
What?
You have alopecia on your shoulder.
I didn't trim my shoulder. That's the point of this joke. I didn't shave my shoulder.
Your humor sometimes is just I don't get it.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
All right.
That's that works. Yeah. So that infographic that I made
If you don't want to tell me, you don't have to.
went through. Tell you what. I do want to tell you.
Okay.
What's the question?
So why is bone broth good for your health?
Oh,
That's a broad question. But...
yeah, it is. Next, we should do that one, but we should do that with me with the board and film it all by itself
Okay. All right.
as its own video.
I'm gonna do.
But I'll tell you the highlights.
It's not just collagen, right?
It's not just collagen, but collagen's probably the most important.
Is it vitamins? There's got to be
It's not-
vitamins
it's
and
not-
minerals.
It's not about the vitamins. There might be trace minerals.
Well, let me tell you something about them burgers that you gave me, dude.
The
Or
organ
that
burgers.
I earned. Yeah.
Do you like those?
Woo! They're so good, dude.
Oh my God! Thank you.
They're so good.
I believe
I
there
didn't
is
even grill them. Like I just hit them in a cast
there is
iron.
real potential to try to make those like one of my things.
All right. So
As much as I'm trying bone broth, the organ patties is huge potential.
What I like about them, because there's got to be ground beef in there, right?
Yeah, it's 80% ground beef.
Okay.
It's 20% liver and heart.
Dude. So I was cooking them, and then I got them done on one side. I flipped them, and then they started plumping up. So I was like, let me just like smoosh them down with it. And then so all like the juice shot out, and that juice cooked.
Ooh.
And then I had like some little like niblets of whatever that was.
Yeah.
And I put them on top, and it was like a condiment of like organ meat,
Organ
I guess,
juice,
that I put on top of my patty. Then I took some Primal Kitchen garlic aioli mayonnaise.
Oh yeah.
And then dipped it in that, and just ate it like that. I had 3 patties. I had 2 cups of butter coffee, and then I had 3 patties.
Wow.
Well, this is like within like before 12 o'clock.
Oh,
right?
okay.
From like when I woke up at like 8 to
That's
before 12.
dude. That's
And then I didn't eat the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Until like late, because then I had to go out to eat. But I just had a salad because I was like so full.
You had eaten a pound of meat with organs.
I ate all three patties.
That's awesome.
It was
Getting
so
people
good,
to eat
dude.
organs and drink bone broth is like, that's my personal business mission, you know, because it's good for my business. It's also personal. I think it would just help everyone.
Like way before I came to you and I bought some liver or something one time because I was
Liver
like, I
by
heard
itself
about it.
is hard.
I was like trying to eat it.
Yeah.
I was like trying to cook it like medium rare. You know,
I
and
cooked
was
some
like,
this week and I couldn't finish it.
It's like so good. But if you put it in a ground beef, you can eat the shit out of that stuff now.
Yeah.
I was trying to get some CoQ10, you know, that coenzyme.
Yep, that's what's in heart.
But
Yeah, I really need someone to help me market better because my products are so good.
I know. I wish I was that guy.
Well, you're not that guy, but you're a guy that's helping me get the message out.
Somewhat, yeah.
You're a guy.
Right. Wearing a diaper. With my baby.
Baby diapers.
Wouldn't that be funny to just see somebody walking down the beach with their kids?
It'd be like,
You're both wearing diapers.
do you remember the cartoon character Baby Huey? That big
Nope.
duck?
Nope.
That oversized duck is wearing a diaper?
Nope.
Well, look him up.
All right.
Yeah, I guess we'd be wearing diapers for our kids out of solidarity. Or because we're fucking crazy. That's what solidarity is.
Sometimes I don't understand
Oh.
what you're saying. I should read more. Well,
All right.
I'm glad I could keep this humorous for you, and also
It's always entertaining.
Trigger
I
you at the same time.
I didn't mean to jump all over you.
you're not even on me.
Pretty low hops, bro. Oh man, it's gonna be a good day.
If you could recommend me do one thing this week, what would you recommend me do?
Shoot, you know all my favorite things. How are things going on the movement side for you? You know, we don't talk about that too much. Exercise being the
Right.
catch-all term, but I like the word movement.
Okay, so with my job, I just started tracking my thing again on my watch, but no cellular.
yeah.
You can do airplane mode and still track.
Really?
Yep.
Which device do you have?
This is just Apple Watch.
Oh.
Series 3.
Okay.
So I've been tracking my
Not a big
steps
fan
or
of
whatever.
wearables, but
I-
yeah.
I understand why.
Right.
And I quit wearing it because one time you mentioned you're like, oh yeah, that wrist cancer is real fashionable these days. And I was like,
That's probably what I
like,
said.
oh my
isn't
god,
it?
get it off.
You jerk.
And then I put it in my drawer. I was like, fuck this, I don't need wrist cancer. But then I figured you can do it in airplane mode, so and still it tells time and all that.
Okay,
I
okay.
was like, okay, so it's just a watch.
So you've been tracking your steps, and are they like unfathomable?
Well, I mean, I've always tracked them, so
What are you doing with your job?
just walking a lot.
I mean, how many steps are you getting?
I don't know, but I could walk like 10 miles a day,
Wow.
easy. Yeah.
He does landscaping.
So, but other than that,
You should give a shout out to your business if you're trying to want to promote it.
yeah, Lawson Media on Instagram and Joel Lawson on Instagram.
Actually, what I meant was your landscaping business.
Oh, we'll talk about that later. Fucking funny. You need a diaper. You act like that.
You act like a child and treat you like a child.
No, I don't really lift weights, and I want to. But this week I started doing kettlebell exercises.
Cool.
So I have 2 kettlebells that I bought a long time ago and I never used. Just like somebody that would buy a treadmill off an infomercial.
Those guys are hilarious.
Yep. So I did buy some kettlebells, but I looked up an On It exercise, and it was kettlebells for beginners.
Mm.
And I started
What
doing
weights
that.
did you get?
They're 26 pounds.
Both of
each.
them are?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
I need a heavier one, but
Oh,
I
they're
also
10
need
keys.
a lighter one.
No, that's not 10 kilos. Is that 12 kilos? It's
It's
12
like 12
kilos.
and a half or something. 12.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why it's 26 pounds, but you can ask Rogue Fitness about that.
Good question, Rogue.
But I was only using one kettlebell, and I did a workout, and I didn't get sore. I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Because
you probably
I
want to get
can-
a little sore.
I know, but I can do it again.
Oh, I got you.
You know what I'm saying? I go to the gym one time, and I try to squat with 25 pounds on each side.
Yeah.
Can't walk for a week, dude. I'm like, okay, it's not acceptable. Like, I need to do workouts like less intense for my non.
Where are you doing your kettlebell workouts?
I did it inside.
Oh.
Yep.
At your house?
Yep.
Oh. Well, I would suggest outside.
Thank you.
I've been hitting the ice tank pretty hard. Liking it.
Is it the one at your house?
The one at my house. I'm at 7.5 minutes at below 36 degrees.
What?
I did it
That's cold, man.
yesterday.
36?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yesterday.
Did you do it this morning?
No, I haven't. Not yet.
Did you
Not
do it
yet.
in the morning?
I will do it in the morning.
That's fucking extreme. I can't even put water on my hands in the morning, dude. I'm like, I don't want to touch water right now. My mother's getting 36 degrees. You'd be fucking crazy. Or Wim Hof.
Because yesterday, I'll struggle, and I try not to, with indecision when I have a chunk of free time. Because you're like, ooh, I could do this or that or that. And, I work half day at the farmer's market, and then we had a meeting. I didn't get home till like 4 o'clock, and I was like, okay, I got some possibilities here.
Don't be
And
donkey.
I was like, no, I'm going to do the low-hanging fruit, which was just fucking clean up the house. And then I was like, okay, I got time. Ice bath, quick workout, eat the mushrooms, get on the beach. Forget the other stuff you were trying to accomplish, which I just remembered I need to do something when I get home. And jumped in the ice bath, I listened to a song that's longer than I want to be in.
Right.
And then have a timer going, and I was at the chest. It was at 7.5 minutes, and I was like, yeah. Shoveled the mushrooms in my mouth, did a few quick reps of just like some deadlifts in the backyard, and headed to the beach. And all of that combined, I mean, coming out of an ice bath and going into Psilocybin, pretty cool. Pretty cool. Highly recommend that.
Yeah.
To like everyone. And then being out here,
Mm-hmm.
like we've hacked into, what do I want to say? We've discovered like possibly the most important things you can do in life to make yourself happy, i.e. make yourself healthy. And I'll use those words somewhat interchangeably. It's very hard to be happy if you're not healthy, right?
Yeah.
To a certain degree.
Yeah.
So and it's all about our physical surroundings, being in the sun and nature, being with other people that makes you feel good, and the cold exposure. Like,
Right.
fuck, I got it figured out.
Cold exposures.
Now it's just a
hard.
matter of making a little bit more money in the businesses that I do, and I'll feel like I'm dominating life.
Yeah.
Just
That's
from
a good feeling.
It's
dude.
a great feeling.
Good for you.
And a big part of that is also not really drinking anymore.
Yeah.
Removing that consistent consumption of
Right.
poison.
It really is not good. I drank on Monday because I played softball,
Yeah.
and I just like.
And there are times when it's just like, it's hard to,
But when I got done doing
separate.
it, I was like, I don't think I really want to drink much anymore.
yeah.
And so I didn't drink, and then my girlfriend, she was like, let's go out for a drink. I said, okay. So like we went out and I had a beer, and it took me a long time to drink it.
And
it's
having
like,
having one is like,
that, it really felt good. She was like, why did you only drink one beer? And I was
Yeah.
like, I just felt like I only wanted one.
needed one.
And that's huge, because there was a time that I went a year without drinking, which was fucking
Yeah.
huge for me. Because
Yeah.
I would drink like 3 or 4 times a week.
Yep.
Like more than I should.
Your
And
kid's
then the
gonna have
weekend,
heart failure.
if I was inseminating. But yeah, no,
He may have been inseminating during that year. We don't know.
Yeah,
We don't
literally or non-literally, it's very good not to drink.
know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what we'll leave people
It makes
with.
you fucking slow, dude, in mind, body, and soul, probably.
Totally.
Yeah,
Whenever people ask me, well, they don't really.
it makes you numb.
But if they do ask why I quit drinking, I was like, I didn't really have a problem. I said it interferes my connection with the source.
There you go. Or your mission in life, maybe. But the source is way better because it's such a larger.
Yeah, and it's like I want that channel to be as crystal clear as
Right.
possible, and mushrooms certainly amplify the signal.
Yes.
Alcohol does not; it dampens it.
It does, man.
So, don't drink. Do drugs.
It's much
That's
easier. It's much easier. What drugs is some?
I know.
Look up drugs.
That's an inflammatory term I used.
But it's so much easier for a man that has a job and is stressed out or would come home or whatever. Like, it's easier to pour a glass of whiskey than it would be to be like, let me have a half a gram of mushrooms.
Or let me go meditate for an hour.
It's way easier because you could just be like, I forgot about all that shit. What do you
Right.
need, babe? Huh? The kids?
Yeah.
This?
No, you gotta
Do
stay
it
tuned
again.
in.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna end
All
it
right.
there. It's been lovely. The sun is really bright now.
What a great way to spend the morning.
Yeah.
7:42 now.
It's a good hour. Thank you for joining us, those that joined.
Yep.
We'll be back here next Sunday.
Next Sunday.
Looking forward to it.
Chatting with Caveman signing out.